If you're anything like me, lately you realize that you get drained after leaving certain conversations. You've seen that there's certain things in your life that once you engage in them, or even before you engage in them, is that you feel anxiety or you feel drained before or even after them. And if you're feeling any of these things, then this video is definitely for you. So this video is for anybody out there that desires to create distance, but not in a petty, dramatic way, in a way that helps us to become the better version of ourselves, because we want to heal, we want to evolve, and want to become better people at the end of this year. And the truth of the matter is that not everybody has to stick around, and you don't need to carry everybody for this next phase of your life. Some people need to drop off, and you need to pick up some new people as you go along in your journey. To tell you the truth, yeah, I'm this very loyal person. I'm the person that I want to call a ride or die. I'm someone that knows how to be loyal even when it's beginning to hurt me personally. You know, whether it's friendships, relationships, even patterns. Yeah, because some of us are so stuck in patterns that we don't know are physically draining us. I said that I was loyal to things that were quietly draining me and even expressively draining me, but I just did not see it that way. But here's how I knew it was time for me to create that distance. The first thing is that I noticed that I started feeling anxious before certain conversations. I noticed that I couldn't be myself around certain people. Like I'll be filtering myself, over polishing myself, and even editing myself. I didn't even think that was possible until I saw the light. And next, I started noticing that I was feeling mentally drained, emotionally exhausted from carrying way too much. Because I mean, when I'm around those people or around those certain things, I am not myself. So things that I naturally want to say, I'm not saying them. So I'm keeping everything pent up inside of me. I think about it like you're pumping water into something and then there's no exit point. So it just keeps swelling and swelling, and then you start feeling heavy emotionally, physically, and at the end of the day, mentally. And then the worst part of everything is that I noticed that I started over apologizing. I noticed that I started explaining way too much than I'm normally supposed to. I started apologizing for having needs. I started saying sorry for when I set certain boundaries, healthy boundaries that will help me be a better person. And then when they don't want to like walk with that way, that will help me be a better person, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, but girl, why are you clearly sorry? So those are the pointers that you can use to check if there are certain people in your life that you might need to cut off, or certain environment that you just need to take yourself out of them for you to become healthy and be the best version of yourself. And here's what I had to learn. Creating distance is not disrespect, it's self-respect. Let that sink in, because especially in the area where I was born, a lot of times they try to like, I don't think it's even intentional, but we sort of like grew up to have this kind of notion that, okay, if we do this, everything is tied to disrespect. It's okay for you to create that distance. You're not going to hurt anybody, because at the end of the day, you are making yourself a priority in a very positive and healthy way. So when you create distance, let nobody tell you that you are being disrespectful. You are trying to be your best version of yourself by respecting yourself. I know you don't have to go about it in a dramatic way. I know we all have that potential to be dramatic, but no, we're not going to go about this in a very dramatic way, because that was so last year. We're just going to be pulling back and being less available. So it's not just every small time they call you, you pick up your phone, any small text, you reply, any small thing, you trace it out there. You are going to become less available, and in the long run, giving yourself time to breathe and think clearly, because if you don't take yourself out of this environment, you will still be cluttered and not be able to think clearly like you're supposed to. And when you eventually heal, you will then realize, like how I realized now, that peace is a need and not a luxury. Don't let anybody say that, oh, you don't need to have peace of mind. How can you have peace of mind when you're living in this place? How can you have peace of mind when you're living in Nigeria? Please don't let anybody rob you of your peace of mind. It is a need. It is not an option whether, okay, I can do without it or I cannot. You need to have peace of mind. So if you don't take anything else from this video, I want you to take this down. Peace is a need, not a luxury. And that means that not everybody deserves constant access to you. I know it might come off as being self-centered. I know someone out there like, okay, what is an emergency? Girl, you're not the only person that contact this. You don't owe closeness to people that constantly go out of their way to keep crossing lines that you set for yourself to make you a better person. I'm talking about healthy lines that you've drawn for yourself. For example, if you say like, in the morning, I'm not a morning person, and you like quiet mornings, like don't want anyone to reach out to you, and certain people keep ensuring that every morning, they bombard you with phone calls. Please just keep them aside. Nobody needs to tell each other, know that those people are not for you. Okay, because how can I tell you that, okay, I don't like A, B, C, D, E, F, and you're like, okay, all right, no problem. And then go ahead and do the same A, B, C, D, E, F every single time. And next thing you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. How can I keep forgetting? So now that we have identified how to spot the symptoms that will enable us to know whether we need to create distance or not, and we've identified some other things that relates to why we need to create distance, here is how you can actually start creating distance without guilt. So this is what this actually looks like in real life application. You can start with silence. Sometimes just stop explaining. Just try it. If they ask certain things, just say yes or no. Don't go out of it to go and shalaye and over explain as to give reasons and try and convince them for something that you know that's going to be helpful for you and beneficial to your own self and your own personal growth. But ensure that it's not in a petty way, but in a very peaceful, polite, feminine, and elegant, because that's like the area that we're trying to enter right now. Because like I don't need to explain why I need space to get A, B, C, D, E, F done. I don't need to explain why I need time to do my personal morning devotion in the morning. I don't need to explain why, because like you're not paying for my life. You're not sponsoring my lifestyle. So why do I need to go over and over and give you reasons as to why I want? And I'm not saying this applies to everybody. Yeah, some people would have shown themselves worthy. Is that the right word? This is the worthy of that information, of that access. Okay, because everything in life is give and take. Like I said before in my former video, if the energy that are giving to you is not matching what you are giving to them, please pull out, disengage, get out, create distance. Okay, so this applies to some people that you've seen that they go out of their way every single time to cross your boundaries. Okay, so start by creating silence. Don't be yappy about everything you're doing with them. If they are doing certain things and does not work for you, please just say I can't, I'm not available. No excuse, no, oh, I'll need to go somewhere, or just say no, I cannot make it. No, I can't do that. No, I cannot give you that. No, like say it and have your peace of mind. I know it sounds weird at the beginning, but trust me, they will learn the hard way. And that thing I learned to do that really works is muting. Because some people we know we cannot block, because I mean, if you block them, you can always go back and unblock them. And I feel like blocking is like a long road, but muting them, I have seen that when you mute them and get yourself busy with other things, you literally forget. Like they can even still text you, but because of you muted them, you're not seeing it, and it's given out of sight, out of mind. So muting also works. It's not always about cutting off people for like a lifelong time. It's about cutting them off, like just offing a notification. Like, I don't want to see you on my radar. I don't want to like kick you out completely. Just temporarily just muting their stories, muting their text messages, so that you don't constantly get triggered or be put back in that conversation. Another thing I learned to do is pouring into myself more. I learned to create more time for yourself. Learn to get more comfortable with your energy, with yourself. Sometimes what I do is that I take some time off my phone and I just lay on my bed, not doing anything. I just lay in my bed, enjoying the breath of life that God has given to me. Take more time in journaling, reading books. Other things that I do is that I started taking more time to journal out my thoughts, because I like to take them out of my head and onto a piece of paper. That helps me a lot to just be so in love with my own energy, not from anywhere like vain, just enjoying myself. Another thing I learned, but if you're paying water bill, it might not work for you, is that I started learning how to take longer showers. Girl, that one works. Especially if you have like this very powerful shower head. Oh my days. Like the fact that water just drips down, it has this cooling therapeutic. I cannot explain it. Is that you go with bath, but I'm not really a bath girl. I'm more like a shower girl, because like anyone that works for you, actually, if you are into this bath with like candles and like petals, go do anything that works for you at this point. Okay, I do long showers. I just take that time. And another thing which I'm actually very like embarrassed to share online right now is that I dance. Okay, I just play some music and dance. It might look like I'm mad, but I really don't care, because I was happy. Because when you've learned to prioritize your own energy and not be too concerned or bothered about what person A, person B, person C, person D will think, as long as you ensure that what you're doing is morally right, your spirit within you is convicted of the Holy Spirit, and you're doing the right thing according to the Bible, and it's legal, girl, What do you have to lose? Because this life is just one. And when it happens to you, how are you sure that those people that you used to always be a doormat for will come true for you? And saying all of that does not still mean that I don't still have some days where I literally have to psych myself to remind myself that I'm actually doing what's best for me. So what I do sometimes, see that mirror right there, I go to that mirror and I say the certain things to myself, looking at myself in the mirror. I write them down so that I won't have to forget anyone. Think about this as your permission slip. You know the way where I need to go to the bathroom in school, I need to have like a hall pass to go use the bathroom so they won't get punished for being in the halls. Think about it like this. So I start by saying you are allowed to grow, you are allowed to take up space, you are allowed to say I love you to those people or those certain things, but I need my space. You're also allowed to say some people misunderstand your boundaries, you let them. That's not your job to fix. You are not mean, you are not changing too much, because I think that's the thing. People are like, oh, you're changing too much, change small. So say to yourself, you're not changing too much, you're just healing, and healing changes what we allow and what we permit. So this is why I feel like it's getting to me, and I'm like this close to going back into that energy that I don't want to be relating with anymore. I go to that mirror, like I said before, and say all the certain things to myself. If you want me to put it down for you in the comment section, I'll do just that. So instead of saying you are, say to yourself, goodness, you are allowed to grow. Goodness, you are allowed to take up space. Goodness, you're allowed to love them but still keep your space. Goodness, you're allowed to set boundaries, healthy boundaries. Goodness, you are allowed to change whatever part of you want to change to level up to that next level that you want to be for yourself. So those are the things I tell myself when I feel like I'm struggling. Never feel like when I'm struggling with guilt of going back to the energy that I really don't want to be surrounding myself with anymore. So yeah, that is it for this video today. These are things that I am slowly learning. I'm not there yet. Like I said, I'm still working in it. I believe that we are all work in progress until our very last time on earth. And if any part of this video resonated with you, drop a heart in the comment section and let me know if you've been in that space before or you are still currently in that space. And if you've been there before and you're done with that, let us know what you did to get out of that space. And if you're still figuring out like I'm still figuring out, that's okay. This video is just a reminder that you are allowed to grow and protect your peace. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hi, my name is Goodness, and I like putting out videos like this that make you feel pretty on the inside and also on the outside. Like this video and share with a friend that you know that will really benefit from this video. I love you loads, and I'll see you in the next one.